Today's episode is brought to you by Solo, a Star Wars story about dice, mostly. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 548. I'm your host, GBD, here in Long Island, New York. As always, we're joined by a man who really wishes it was called Fallout 77, Wombat.
That's true and funny. I get that joke. I get that reference.
It's close to your birthday year.
Yeah, I know. I got it. I appreciate that. I appreciate you actually remembering an actual personal fact about me.
Well, it's in all of your usernames.
That is true.
So
and passwords.
Yes. Oh yeah. That's my. Yeah. Oh yeah. My username is my password. I mean, that's not a secret.
And the combination to your luggage.
And the combination to my luggage. Yes, all of those things.
Today's show's not really sponsored by Star Wars.
No.
I
For a
wish.
second there, I thought maybe it was sponsored by Solo Cups, and I was all excited.
Either way, either one would be great.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Be fine with either one of those.
Yeah. The official cup of the Sport of Kings.
Well, it is.
Beer pong.
It is one of the 7 Solo sponsors, Solo Cups.
Yes.
Along with Norton Identity Theft Protection.
And Denny's.
And Denny's, yes. Can we name them all?
And a car commercial. The one where she can drive between 2 trucks. That's how amazing her
It's
car
probably a
is.
Nissan, right? Because they did like a Rogue One car. Is it?
I could not tell you what kind of car it is. I just know that it can drive between 2 trucks.
But Han couldn't do that in the... Oh!
Also,
but I haven't seen it yet.
Dwayne Wade.
Which one?
Dwayne Wade flying around with Chewbacca. That's a commercial.
Oh, yeah. That's good. Well, we'll talk about the movie in a little bit, and then we'll do a spoiler. I think Wombat's given us permission to do a spoiler bit at the end of the show, after the show, rather. So...
Well, I won't be there for it. So
No,
I
you're going
guess
to bail.
I don't care what you do when I leave.
Well, I didn't want you... I mean, if you
You guys
wanted
can
us
talk
to
about
wait...
penis sizes for all I care.
No, but I thought maybe you would want us to wait a week or so, and
Nah, I'm cool.
I figured. It wasn't Shakespeare.
No.
There's really not that much to spoil anyways, right? We know where these characters end up.
Yeah, that is true. Han Solo gets stabbed in the chest by his son.
Right.
Spoiler alert.
I never knew that he had 2 robot legs, though.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that.
See? Oops. Shit.
You never saw him taking his pants off, right?
No. That's why. Now we know. Oh, we've said
That
too
red
much.
stripe is actually a power strip.
Right. He's got it. No, he's solar powered. Anyway.
He's solar powered?
Solar powered.
That's how he got his name.
Well,
Oh, it's all awful.
are we talking about? Are we going to just jump right? No, we're going to wait till we get to
No,
watch
we're
it.
Yeah,
not.
wait. This is the prequel to
Right.
Solo.
Well, in addition to the sad news of Solo coming out, there's some other sad news that I think we'll actually get to.
I just wanted to thank everyone for sending their condolences. For those who don't know, the unofficial, as a lot of people posted, this is that she was the unofficial 4th host of the CAGcast. Zelda passed away on Friday. She would have been 14 in October, and she will be missed. Mostly, I think, by Cheapy.
No, I stopped hearing Zelda a while ago. Or stopped caring, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say just tuned her out a long time ago. But yeah, sad.
So that is sad. Our condolences.
Thank you.
Are you going to get another pet of some sort?
I am not.
Nothing. Not even
Nothing.
like a ferret or something? I don't know.
Don't even say that, because that was the first thing that my wife said.
Smelly,
A
though.
ferret?
Too smelly.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I want nothing.
That's cool. And they're okay. Everyone's okay with that?
I haven't given a choice.
Right. Well, that's nothing is good. I feel too a little. So at least you got to try. You should try nothing at least.
Yeah, that's what I am with you on that. Like, let's see how this nothing acts.
Yeah.
Because this last year was very difficult. So
Right.
let's try some nothing for a little while and see how that goes. Let's honor the memory.
Very rational decision.
So that's where we are with that. It was an interesting Friday. But
Right.
I'm glad we had the long weekend to kind of, keep, it's good to be occupied.
Sure. Fun activities.
Yeah, the Queen's, you've been to the Queen's Zoo. I know that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did that, and then we did the Queen's Science Center right after. We did both in one day.
Mm-hmm.
The New York Hall of Science, I'm being yelled at. I called it the Queen's Science Center. I thought it was the same thing. But
knew which one
have
you
you
meant.
done that?
Yep. Several times.
Okay. Have you done the mini golf there?
I know it, but I have not done it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's not that the course is bad. The course is fine. For
Yeah, I
some
can't wait.
reason,
Yes.
all the rules of parenthood seem to have gone out the window when we were there.
Oh, kids are just running crazy, like swinging the clubs and just hitting the
Kids
ball
just-
so hard.
Like I would be like, my family is used to playing mini golf by the rules at a mini golf course and doing everything by the book and keeping score and
Sure.
doing the whole thing.
It's fun.
And I would be there getting ready to go, and some random child would literally just run in front of me, drop their ball, and start hitting it.
Yeah, that's like my nightmare. That must have made
I
you
know.
so upset. Because that would make
was
me upset too.
So I couldn't handle it. I couldn't
Just pick
handle
up
it.
their ball and throw it.
It was ridiculous. I've never seen so many children just like Lord of the Flies mini golf.
Running
That's what they
wild.
should.
How
that's
old
what
are
they
these
should have
kids? Like the kid that just dropped his ball in front of you and went.
I mean, there were children doing this that probably ranged in age from like 4 to like 8.
Oh, okay. So,
So not like
So
little
you could
little
take them.
kids.
You could have taken all of them.
Yeah. Like I
good.
was going at one point, I was going to hit my ball, and this little girl came, and she's standing right next to me, and she keeps hitting her ball at the same time. Like I'm like, do I wait? What do I do? She kept hitting it up a ramp, and it just kept coming back down to her. She kept hitting it again, and her dad was like saying, being very quiet and soft spoken, like, "Oh, you have to get off. You have to get off," and she was just yelling at him. And I just was like, this is ridiculous. Like, this girl is like 3. Just pick her up and move her.
Right.
Oh,
and you can't even say anything because she's too young. She's not going to understand anyway. It's not like
yeah, it's
you're gonna
not,
reason with her.
it's, I'm not her parent. It's not my place. I just get to sit there and judge you. So
I would
but
have
you
tie
would've-
block while I would putt. That would be my tactic.
you would have had the worst time of your life. All I kept thinking about while I was doing this was, I wish Chiefy was here.
I would have blocked. We would have set up a little perimeter with the golf clubs. We'd hold the golf clubs horizontally and be like shoulder to shoulder and form a wall.
I mean, my children are no angels, but by comparison,
Angels.
angels. Golf angels. How are you, Shipwreck?
I'm fine. I was listening to your story about mini golf.
It's good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
That's the problem. Yeah, some places the kids don't behave.
No.
And
It
Mini
was
golf seems
very
like a place the
strange.
kids don't behave.
Well, it depends where you go, I think. Just like some movie theaters, you can guess like some movie theaters in Manhattan, like Times Square area, probably be more wild than a movie theater in a suburb.
Sure. Although the zoo was crowded and it wasn't nearly as bad.
Nobody was jumping in the cages
No.
with the animals or anything like that.
No one was driving me insane.
Nice. All right. Let's do some show feedback because I can't wait to talk about Solo.
Okay. All the show feedback was about the same thing, so I just picked this one. Witty nickname had to say, regarding GCU, I'm afraid we're doing a lot of hand-wringing for no reason. Worrying about how long it's going to take to Best Buy to recognize a bad decision is us ignoring the fact that you touched on at the start of the conversation. Best Buy is tacitly getting out of the games business. They've decided it's more cost-effective to pivot away from gaming than to keep a permanent
makes no
loss leader
sense.
on offer.
Oh, no. Listen. What big box electronics retailer just decided to stop selling video games?
I don't know. Maybe they're just maybe the
They're
profits just maybe it's just not worth it for them. Maybe they're spending more than they're making.
I think our whole argument was, and our whole discussion was based upon the fact that the cycle of video game releases, much like movie releases, gets refreshed very often, and you get people in the store. Yeah, you put it, the ads go out and you promote the new stuff, gets people in the store, and maybe I bought a monster cable within 60%.
Or maybe
markup.
they really do. Maybe they clearance it all out, wipe it out, and then they just wait for like the handful of big releases, and that's it. Like if you want, like they'll just have Madden and Call of Duty and Red Dead Redemption, and that's it. They stock those three games, and when they sell out, they just wait for the next round to come in, and it's this sort of more cost-effective cycle of guaranteed sellers.
I don't think the publishers would be up for that, though.
I'm just throwing out an idea. I'm not saying they're going to do it.
Sure, I just don't think the publishers are going to give you
no, they probably
your supply of Madden without taking your supply of Battlefield.
Okay. Again, you're talking. I mean, what if they did? What if they just struck games with Activision, EA, and Take-Two? It's not that many games,
right? That could be something. I think this is crazy, but it's at least somewhat viable.
I didn't say it was a good idea. I'm just trying to think what Best Buy might do.
Yeah, I mean, look, the retail business in general is so risky right now and volatile. They seem to be doing one of the few that are doing pretty well. It's been able to turn it around recently. It seems like a pretty drastic move to get out of the gaming business. I can understand you wanting to come up with a new gaming rewards thing, or maybe just canceling it altogether without a replacement. But to get out of the gaming business seems pretty extreme. I mean, how many PlayStations are out there in America and Xboxes? That's a lot of customers out there, and it's not like they're not gonna stop buying, not buy games anymore. They're gonna go to Target. They're gonna go wherever's selling the games. They're gonna go. So it just seems that's not it. But it is amazing how every time they tweet, Best Buy tweets something, the response is just every reply is, yeah, but what about GCU? This isn't GCU. So they're getting the message.
Yep.
Whatever that may be. Watch this, bitches.
Sure, there's a lot.
Did you hear about this new Sonic the Hedgehog movie starring James Marsden?
Yeah, I saw that was a thing. I guess Paul Rudd said no, thank you.
That seems like if you have to cast somebody to be in a Sonic the Hedgehog live action / animation movie. James Marsden's been there plenty of times.
I was going to say
before.
he is the hop guy.
Yeah, he's the hop guy. He was also in Enchanted.
That is true. Although that doesn't have that much animation with human interaction, I guess.
It has some.
Yeah, I'm not saying it has none. I'm just saying it's
early on, it definitely has some.
Mm-hmm. I like that movie.
Who doesn't?
I don't know. Probably Cheapy.
I haven't seen it. Hop?
No, Enchanted.
Is that the Rapunzel one?
No.
That's Tangled.
Enchanted
is the Giselle one.
Who? What?
It's Amy Adams, like one of her first movies too.
I don't think I know that. I think I escaped that.
Well, it's cute.
You know what else is cute?
What?
Solo, a Star Wars story.
So on our scale of 1 to 10, 10 being The Empire Strikes Back, and 1 being the Star Wars Holiday Special.
No, Mrs. GP made me rank all the Star Wars movies at dinner.
There aren't that many. It's not like it's so hard.
There's 10.
Yep, I did it. I felt pretty confident. It was... Well, I don't want to tell you my whole ranking.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
I don't care. I honestly don't care.
This one was near the bottom, but it was better than... I'll tell you what it was. It was better than the first prequel, and it was...
Okay.
Ooh, I don't believe that.
No? You don't think this was better than Phantom Menace?
The first Star Wars prequel is about crunching numbers and stuff and trade agreements.
It's so boring.
That's the stuff that gives Shipwreck an erection. So it's
I appreciate they were at least creating worlds, and they at least came up with some good like Qui-Gon. I like that character.
No.
Yeah, but he never did. I mean, is it weird that he never came back as a Force ghost? Like, weren't we all expecting that, and that never happened?
Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
So he's fine.
Who did you think I said?
I was thinking of that dude with the wings, who is the
Watto. Watto's fantastic as well.
Hey, you know me.
Horrible fucking movie. Solo is
all of these. The key to this is all of these are characters I can name.
What are
I can't.
you gonna buy?
I
want to buy the droid Padres droid.
You can name Han Solo
Shabbat
and
Shalom.
Yeah, he was wearing a yarmulke in the movie, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
He had wings and a yarmulke.
It's what George Lucas thinks of Jews. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying that's what George Lucas thinks of Jews.
Solo is better than that. It's also
Han Solo. Okay. Sorry.
It's also, to me, like less. It was almost like watching nothing in a way. Like it's just,
it's
right.
Well, that's sort of a Ron Howard thing, though, isn't it? Isn't that like a like the Ron Howard style?
Visually, no, because Ron Howard's movies usually they look good. At least they're colorful. They're at least visually interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but they're not. They're usually just like, I saw that movie. I think I liked it, but I don't quite remember that much about it.
I'm not sure, but I think they were going for this whole Wizard of Oz thing where you're starting off in the dark place where you're unhappy, and so the movie looks very dark. Wizard of Oz was obviously black and white. That's not going to fly in a Star Wars movie.
They definitely wanted it to look different than Star Wars.
So the first half hour of the movie is even the scenes that are outside, everything is dark and it's hard to see the characters. It's hard to know what's going on because you don't even know who's talking. And I saw it in 3D, which even makes the whole thing darker. It's even the way they light it. It's weird. Everything looks to be lit from like the back of the stage.
Yeah, it's all backlit.
Yeah, and it's like, so I can't see anybody's face. And like there's one, like the main bad guy. I assume he's in the trailer, right? I don't know, or the commercial. Some guy
he's in the commercials. Now that I've seen it, I know who he is, but I don't know that I would have known him
as a bad guy. Well, there's a guy with stripes on his face, and I'm trying to see, like, are those scars? Are they birthmarks? Is it paint? And it's just so dark. All the lights are behind everybody. We're at the point now where I judge these movies by how much they. I don't want to use the offend word because I'm not obviously offended by any Star Wars movie, but by how much they distract me from how I remember Star Wars and how it how the story resonates with me and just the story in general. And this,
I think that's a big issue coming into Solo is that we've all had 30 years to kind of fill in the pieces here.
Right. So
unless they filled them in the same way you did, you're naturally coming in with, well, this isn't how this happened. Like it's just like they have to somehow like do a better job of filling it in than you did when you like over the past 30 years. They didn't do that for me.
No.
On this.
No. Just we'll talk about it more.
It's like we're not talking about spoilers here. We'll do that later. But at the same time, I think I would have enjoyed this more if this was just totally new characters and they could have had a few more liberties.
Well, that was going to be my one question is, could this have worked? Because I was wondering that just when they first announced it, even like would this movie have worked if it had nothing to do with any characters you do about.
Yes, it would. I agree with Shipwreck that it would have been better because they could have just really run with it. They wouldn't have felt the need to shoehorn all these things that they think we want to know, like how Han Solo got his last name or how we came up with Chewie as Chewbacca's nickname. The dice, like enough. too much dice. I don't care about the dice anymore. Stop showing me dice. Who gives a shit about the dice? I never even noticed the dice.
Does his license plate say fresh?
Dude, let me tell you something. I've watched the original trilogy. I can't tell you how many times from since they came out till adulthood till today. Countless numbers of times. Do you know how many times I've ever thought about the dice or even noticed the dice in the movie?
They're like in one scene.
Never.
They're in one scene in one movie ever.
They became weirdly important in the last 2 movies.
But they're not important. They're still dumb. Like it doesn't do anything.
Well, that's just it. It's like they made you think of they pointed them out so it wouldn't seem weird in the movie you just saw.
I'm pretty sure they did nothing in this movie too.
Exactly.
It's just stop. It's too much dice. And
I don't need to see Han Solo's keychain.
No, I just don't care. The great thing was though, I saw it in a big ass theater, and there were only 3 other people in the theater with me, and none of them were sitting anywhere near me. So I just have total Cape Fear moments where I would just laugh out loud at inappropriately, and it was glorious. It was really like living out my fantasies. I'm gonna have to do this more often, but I was bored during it. So
it's surprisingly boring for an action-filled movie.
Yeah.
It's a competent movie too. Like I wouldn't come away from it saying, "Hey, this is a bad movie." It's just like an all right movie. Like it's an action thing that it kind of goes through some set pieces that you kind of know how they're going to play out, and then it gets interesting in the final 20 minutes or so, I would say. Like it picks up all of a sudden.
I admit that I wanted to I had made it that far. I wanted to know how it ended, but I was pretty bored for the first at least hour and 20 minutes.
The last 20 minutes are pretty good though, right?
I was interested. The
last 20 minutes are like, okay, this is a fun things are happening. Something is happening.
Somebody turned the lights on at some point in the last 20 minutes. I could see. It was okay. Let's move on. We'll do spoilers.
Move on. They'll talk about it later.
No, we'll talk about it at the end of the show. I started watching Barry. I don't think I mentioned this before.
That's funny. I also started watching Barry. I watched 4 episodes. That's
what's Will Arnett, right?
No.
The other guy. I always get it wrong.
I'm not going to tell you. I know his name.
Fuck.
I just like to hear you say other names.
It's
James
Bill Hader.
That is correct.
Yes. Okay. I'm so proud of myself. It's on HBO. He plays a hitman who decides that he's going to become an actor. I've only watched the first 3 episodes.
Okay.
Or 2 episodes. I don't know. But it's funny and enjoyable. They're 22 minutes long, I think.
Yeah, it's nice. I like that they move.
Mm-hmm. It's good. Well done.
Yep.
I heard it gets really good, so
I'll continue to watch that. I did finish all of season 2 of The Toys That Made Us.
Oh, okay. I'm halfway through it. I've watched Star Trek and Transformers.
Yeah, Transformers one is good. I actually really liked the Star Trek one.
It was okay.
Well, I mean, it's interesting to see it from the other side of this is something that really didn't do well. And also the Mego guy, who's kind of a greaseball.
Whatever. I mean, how could he have known anything different?
Yeah. Well, he was also a criminal. He did go to prison.
Well, sure, but who hasn't?
Are these stories interwoven at all? Can I watch them out of order? Is there any?
You could watch them out of order. Yeah, no, it wouldn't make a difference. I don't know why. I mean, they're fine. They're all interesting. Just because I know you're more interested in Transformers doesn't mean you wouldn't like.
The Transformer one's really good. It could have been about 3 hours longer.
Yeah, it could have. That one definitely could have been longer. They do a decent job with that, and they also do a good job with. I'm trying to think what the other ones were.
Lego and Hello Kitty.
Oh yeah, no, actually, Lego was fine. Sanrio was also that one was pretty good. The first 2 are the strongest.
Yeah, and I came into the Transformers one knowing probably 90% of what they.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that either. It's also nice to see them do it. Oh, here's the thing, and I didn't put this on the list. There's also that Funko documentary that came out. And to watch, and I didn't finish it. I made it about maybe halfway through before I was like, this is boring as hell. the people that made this don't know how to make an interesting documentary. And then the next day, season 2 of The Toys That Made Us came out. And it's like you watch that and then you watch Funko and you're like, wow, these people really dropped the ball. It's crazy how bad that is. So don't watch that.
The toys are also not as good as Transformers.
I mean, the beginnings of the company is sort of interesting, but yeah.
Transform like I'm a big G.I. Joe guy, of course, but Transformers are really like the greatest toys ever.
Well, I mean,
as far as like being able to appreciate like what in the world these like how complicated these toys are.
I mean, maybe from an engineering standpoint, but
exactly.
You could say the similar things about Legos. I mean, some of those Lego sets that are more complicated than others, the fact that someone designed that is some pretty.
It's not as cool as Transformers to me.
Also, Transformers. You have to remember that the Transformers, they were very playable in that you could transform. Like the ones today, forget about it. I've tried to play with them, tried to transform them in a reasonable amount of time, and I don't think it's really possible. But the ones back then, you could do it. Like, I mean, maybe not the gigantic ones, but pretty much any size one, you could be playing with them and go, I'm going to be a jet. I'm going to be a robot. And for the most part, you could do it in a reasonable amount of time.
I guess Transformers just never really did it for me. I mean, I like the episode and I like Transformers. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm not dead.
Oh, I'm Team Transformers with Shipwreck.
I think Legos are. I think the more complicated Lego sets are more impressive than the more complicated Transformers, but opinions are opinions.
No, well, it's the ease. Like, it's not. It doesn't have to be a complicated Transformer. It can be something like Optimus Prime is not what I would say is a complicated.
No, he's not a particularly complicated. He's cool.
That's a really cool toy.
Yeah, but so is a Lego Millennium Falcon.
Okay, you're comparing him to a 1,500 piece Lego set.
Well, that's what I was saying. I was saying the engineering that goes into creating those complex Lego sets is
probably a computer that does it automatically.
No, there's a person that does it.
And he pushes a button and he looks at it and goes, maybe I'll move this here.
They said the same thing about Transformers.
In 1980?
That's the part that I wish they got into more detail on in this show, because they showed the wood that they were carving him out of and everything.
Wow.
But I wanted to see okay, are they doing equations to get clearances here, or were they just trial and erroring all this stuff? Because to figure out how stuff twisted around and snapped into place, and it had to fit together well enough, and the joints had to be strong enough that it's not flopping everywhere. But it still had to be where you could move it and adjust it and everything. It's a very complicated thing. Especially to get it right back then.
Stop the hate, Wombat. Wombat's a Decepticon.
I didn't say that. I didn't disagree with anything you said.
Shipwreck.
I don't recall the disagreement part.
Transform and roll out. We're leaving Wombat behind.
Whatever. I watched that Steve Martin short comedy special also on Netflix.
Oh, was it good?
It is good. You should watch it. You'll like it.
Okay. I we're old. We like those.
I know. No, you'll like it. You'll like it a lot.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's worth watching.
Before we do a quick kind of read this bitches, just want to give a shout out to YouTube for removing the video of me and Ty taking a bath that's been there for 10 years. Really doing a great job. Thank you very much. It had, it was... I don't think I have another copy of it anywhere. I maybe it's on a hard drive somewhere. I don't know, but I can't even get they said, oh, you have 7 days so that you can, I don't know, look at it. And I could obviously use a third party site to download it, but it was immediately unavailable to me. So, and I appealed it.
Revenue you were pulling in off of it.
No, I don't need nothing. And I appealed it and I had lost pretty quickly. So thanks, YouTube, for deleting my history. Some read this bitches at Galt. He's looking for Marvel comic recommendations for a new unlimited reader with no Marvel experience whatsoever outside of the MCU.
So my recommendation for someone that's an MCU fan is I would start with, if you like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, read Guardians of the Galaxy 1, the one that was written by Brian Michael Bendis, which I think came out around the same time as the first movie, so like 2012. He kind of picks up where the first movie left off, but it isn't held to anything that happened in that movie, if that makes any sense at all. He writes his own story, but it uses that core set of characters, so you'll be familiar with them, but he does his own thing with them. And also, Bendis is an incredible comic book writer, so it's all really good stuff, and his entire run of Guardians of the Galaxy is on Unlimited. So you literally could just read the whole thing. It'll take a while, but it's totally worth it. I've read all of them. They're really good, and some fun stuff happens that can happen in the movies, mostly X-Men related stuff. And also I would recommend reading Champions, which is also really good, which sort of ties into what I know Shipwreck's recommendation is going to be because he spoiled it on Twitter.
Well, I have multiple recommendations, but Vision is what I'm going to recommend.
Yeah, and Vision leads into Champions, which is why.
Because Vision that's just really good writing, and it's totally different than what you would get in the movies.
Yeah, that is not a superhero. That's not a superhero book. It's kind of
cool. No. Yeah, and additionally, I would, if you're looking for something kind of humorous and offbeat, I would say the Howard the Duck run that Chip Zdarsky did. Those are very good. And then the one, just Spider-Man, not Amazing Spider-Man, not the Dan Slott Spider-Man, but just Spider-Man is also worth reading.
Cool.
That's the Miles Morales.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
It's good stuff. Isn't that also Bendis?
It could be. Some of Spider-Man has been he writes everything.
Yeah, I know. So. Well, now he's at DC now, so
sure.
His first DC comic came out today, so how's that?
Did he do one of those Hanna-Barbera crossovers?
Not yet, but I'm sure he will. Those are cool, by the way. The DC comic Hanna-Barbera. Did you read the Elmer Fudd Batman comic? Because that is just weird stuff.
Weird.
I have not picked up any of those.
They posted the whole comic online. So that one I read, but that's really the only reason why.
I don't feel like those are for me.
It's bizarre. But lots of stuff on Unlimited. Enjoy it. It's something that's going to be difficult to get tired of if you enjoy reading comic books.
We also didn't touch on the announcement of the new Spawn movie.
There's going to be a new Spawn movie starring Jamie Foxx.
And written and directed by Todd McFarlane.
Which is so weird.
Who you may know from directing Korn videos. The band Korn.
Oh, is that what is that? So he does have directing experience?
He directed a Pearl Jam music video, 2 Korns, and maybe a Disturbed. It's one of those similar type of bands to Korn. Back in the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s.
I will take your word for it.
I looked up that information. I did not, because I was like the same as you. I'm like, he's directing this, and I immediately went to see.
Well, it's not unprecedented. Frank Miller did direct RoboCop 3, so
sure,
and that was a great film.
I can just picture.
You said your
Todd
ninja would take care of RoboCop.
I could just picture Todd McFarlane telling Jamie Foxx what to do.
Yeah, right? It just doesn't seem yeah.
And it's from what's the name of that? It's the studio or the production house that did like Get Out.
Blumhouse, right?
Blumhouse.
Yeah.
And their biggest budget ever is like $10 million. And I'm like, how are you going to pay Jamie Foxx and do a Spawn visual effects movie anywhere close to that budget?
Even if it was animated, it would cost more. A lot more. Good luck.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this turns out.
I like Spawn. I tried to watch the HBO one the other day. Still good. How about some new releases?
Sure. I know both Wombat and I have been checking out the Sega Genesis Classics.
And I know we have similar complaints, which I think is kind of fun and funny at the same time.
It's so you boot it up and it it puts like, well, it's first of all, it does this whole like video at the beginning, which is kind of cool, like where it has all the different characters running around, and it's a nice little video they put together. And then it puts you into basically like a teenager's bedroom, like circa early 1990s.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, here's the bed, here's the shelf of games, here's a TV, here's the Genesis, like everything that you could see, and you can like move it around, and that's basically your menu, your UI.
Which is a fine idea.
It's been done before as well. Wasn't like the Intellivision
Yeah, it's similar things have been done before.
Yeah, it's not like something, it's not a crazy idea. But it's not the concept, it's the execution.
Yeah, all of the games, the box art is wrong on them. They're all just generic, like black checker frame Genesis boxes with the name of the game on the spine, and some of them have the right fonts, but some of them don't. And then the cartridges are the same issue. It's not like this isn't the.
And that bothered me more than the boxes.
They're both bothersome. Like to go through the effort of putting together like this virtual space, and then you're trying to like have a nostalgic factor to this.
You're
package.
Appealing to a very specific demographic, and it's a demographic that remembers what the sticker on the Game Ground cartridge was, and it wasn't the black and white checkers.
Right. Hardly any of these games on here had the black and white.
I know.
Boxes.
Well, that's the other.
They're all the red. They're all the red striped boxes. Is what these should be.
Yeah, a lot of the red. It's a lot of red boxes, and I don't even know if I particularly am fond of the selection of games. I feel like there are better games that were left off the table that were first party Sega games, and I'm surprised. Where's Afterburner? Where's Mystic Defender? Where's Forgotten Worlds? Where's I could go on. I'm not going to keep going. Where's Dynamite Duke?
What are the best games on there?
Where's Echo the Dolphin? Where's Eternal Champions? Again, these are not licensed
Eternal Champions.
games.
That wasn't a Sega published game, was it?
Sure was.
Was it?
Yep. Sega, 1993.
Oh, weird. Somebody else made that, though.
It was Sega Interactive.
Really? I thought somebody else, then they just licensed that one. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Even Joe Montana Football. Well, that was made in conjunction with Electronic Arts, according to this.
So the best games, you've got Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 on here. You've got the Streets of Rage 1, 2, 3.
Golden Axe 1, 2, 3, I believe.
Right. Gunstar Heroes is on here, which Gunstar Heroes is a great game.
I have fond memories of Sword of Vermilion, but I don't know how well it holds up.
That's the weird thing. There's like a lot of RPGs on here.
Yeah, there's a lot of RPGs, which I also thought was kind of weird. It has that weird sort of 3/4 view 3D-ish Sonic the Hedgehog game.
Sonic 3 Blast. That's awful.
It is so bad.
It's a terrible game. And it doesn't even have the right box art for that. Like
nope.
I don't know if that's like a European box art that they put on that thing, but I'm looking at the box, like the actual box of it right now. I'm staring at it, and it looks nothing like this.
Where was the meeting where they said we don't want to have Outrun, we want to have Bonanza Brothers? Like, who made that call?
One of those games sounds like cheaper.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, there's plenty of good stuff here still. It's just
It's weird.
Odd.
It's weird what they included and what's missing. It has Shinobi 2 and 3, which I like both of those. It's not that it's not that it's a bad list. It's just a strange list for having 30 Sega games. And again, I don't know how that works with licensing Sega games within Sega. Maybe there's strange rules that I don't know about, but
there's music. It depends probably like on the music in the game and a lot of different things.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure there are things I just don't know about, but I mean, it's cool that Toe Jam and Earl Panic on Funkatron is there. I mean, that's kind of cool, I guess. Vector Man is on there.
Mm-hmm.
No Virtua Fighter. I guess that really
didn't run very well.
I was gonna say, but that wouldn't run. That's not really. I don't think it's Sega when I think of that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I wouldn't expect them to have any of the Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck games or X-Men or Spider-Man.
Like the actual licensed stuff.
Yeah, that I totally get. But again, Forgotten Worlds. Come on. That's a really good 2-player co-op game.
Yeah, but the games play well. They look nice.
Yeah.
They have a lot of options, or they have some options for like.
You could rewind your game while you're playing it.
Yeah, so it's a worthy collection. It's just like, it's just upsetting when stuff like they spend all this time like putting together this shelf, and it's like, well, if you weren't going to put the effort or didn't have the rights to the art or something, then maybe don't go that route and do a different UI.
Yeah, do something. Maybe make it look a little more like the Rare collection, which I think does a nice job.
Yeah, like something that makes me happy when I'm flipping through these games.
Yeah, yeah, because that one's cool. I kind of like flipping through everything, and there's like trivia. I don't know. It's like you said, it's a worthwhile collection, but it just kind of on the execution, it didn't quite nail the landing.
Got it. What else?
I've been playing a little bit more of Yoku's Island Express, and that game is still very good. It's surprisingly like well put together. That's where you're playing as the Beetle and you're playing a pinball.
That's the
kind of Metroidvania type of game, a little bit. But no, it's really well done. I'm having a lot of fun playing that. And Emmeline likes watching me play that as well.
Does she sit on beanbags while you play?
She could, I guess. Another collection came out this week though as well. Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection.
What's that about?
I think it says everything you need to know in the title of the game.
Well, what games are in there?
Street Fighter 2.
I know that one. I played that a lot.
Let's see here. It's got 5 versions of Street Fighter 2, 3 versions of Street Fighter 3, and Street Fighter Alpha, Alpha 2, and Alpha 3.
Too many versions.
That's a lot of versions on here. I'm sure this one's I'm sure it's fun, but it's really hard to get excited anymore about these collections.
I've never really been a Street Fighter guy personally.
So, really?
Yeah. It's not that I don't like Street Fighter. It's just never been my thing.
I just feel like I have all of these games multiple times at this point.
Just buy one more. Just buy this collection. They need your money.
All right, I'll do it.
Capcom could really use the dough.
I'll do it. I'll pick it up.
Sweet. Thank you.
No problem. Anything else this week? This Moonlighter game has been getting good reviews.
Moonlighter, eh?
Yeah. I think somebody compared it to Stardew Valley a little bit.
On the moon?
Maybe. I really have not looked up anything about this at all. But I've heard good things. Yeah, it's got crafting and looting and all that stuff.
I don't see any moon.
It looks nice.
Where's the moon?
I don't know. It looks nice though. It's got like a overhead style view. Kind of colorful artwork. Like it.
Good.
Yep. Moonlighter. Somebody else knows more about that than we do.
What else?
Ikaruga came out for Switch.
Wow. Great job.
I like that game. I have that.
Great.
On my Xbox.
Mm-hmm. Did anybody try out Pokemon Quest?
I saw that it's free to download. I mean, I like Pokemon, so I'm curious.
Wait, it's free?
It's free to download,
Yeah,
and then I guess there's like paid stuff. I don't know.
Oh my god, it's free. I mean, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, that's sort of why I'm like, but that's not the Pokemon that they're leaning into for.
No, what is it though? What are you doing with this thing?
It's like a Pokemon game, Pokemon gamer. I like the Pokemon, the Pikachu. It's you take your Pokemon and you fight against other Pokemon, but instead of it being the type of turn-based combat that you're used to, it's more meter-based. And the graphic style is very different. Almost Minecrafty.
What does it mean when it says it's a free to start game?
You probably like hit a wall and then it's like,
right.
You want more energy to go get more Pokemon? Give us some cash, dude.
But I think it was like it's the Mario iPhone game, right? Didn't you? It was free, and then if you can get to a certain point and you pay $10.
Yeah, but this isn't levels like the Mario.
Well, they figure out a way to fuck you over somehow.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, what else?
I think that's it.
That's probably pretty good. That's a lot of stuff.
All right, cool.
Don't you think?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied.
Okay.
I got my money's worth. E3 hype. It's pretty soon. The big show is pretty soon. Did we talk about the backpack ban yet?
No, we have not.
Excellent. I added this on there for you because, well, you don't have a backpack.
I don't, but I would be allowed to if I wanted to.
Oh, is that the story? The press is allowed backpacks?
Yes. The press has no rules.
As somebody who doesn't carry a bag during E3, I didn't really pay much attention to this, but I knew that it affected you somehow.
Well, not really. Like I carry like an over-the-shoulder
boulder holder.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because people hand you stuff.
Yes.
And I find it convenient to then just stick it in a bag and not have to worry about either like declining taking something or
carrying loose
t-shirts.
Loose t-shirts for Wombat.
Right. Like it's
sure.
It's an easy thing. It's ease of use.
So what's the deal for us big shots? What are we allowed to bring?
We can, according to their site, we can even take in like our rolling luggage.
Oh shit!
Well, you have to remember there's going to be press there that's going to have cameras and recording equipment.
Sure. And
right.
luggage.
So they have to be able to allow those people to bring that in to do their jobs. So the rules are going to be different, and that's the reason why. It's not just because you're better. I mean,
not just because.
I said not just because you're better.
Wait, I have two very important questions.
Yes.
Is the general public allowed to carry those gigantic promotional bags that are like 5 feet tall? No?
The general public is permitted one bag that's a maximum size of 12 inches by 15 inches by 6 inches.
12 by 15. So that's like a messenger bag, or?
Yeah, that would be like a messenger bag, similar to what I would carry.
Follow-up question. Am I allowed to have one of those obnoxious promotional bags?
Yes, that would fall into the oversized and roller bags.
So like we could rub it in. Like if we had some giant bags and we just wore them around, everybody would be looking at us. Damn, it's probably too late to get these made. We could make up some cheap ass gamer ones, and everybody would be lusting after our giant bags, our forbidden giant bags,
and just stuff them full of stuff that we brought with us.
You may be overthinking it. I'm just saying.
Newspaper. I'm going to stuff it with newspaper because anything else is too heavy.
So there's security now as well, which was crazy that there was not security last year.
Right.
We both talked about that last year. It's so now there's going to be bag search and metal detectors as you go in and out, which will also be insane because I can't imagine them getting the crowd through in a reasonable amount of time. Because it's not, like you're going to have to do that every time you like enter and exit a hall. It's not like you're just coming into the convention center once.
Yeah, if you want to show up, how are they going to do this? Especially in the beginning of the show, it's going to be pretty crazy.
Unless they are not letting people go out without having to recheck like within the whole convention center. But that's not how it's kind of been set up in the past, at least.
Interesting.
Should be interesting. I for one like the added security though, no matter what.
I could see that being something you'd like.
Who wouldn't really? Like it's different when it was like an industry only event. And even then it's like a little bit dicey, like the last day, because everybody's like giving away their passes. And anybody can just get into like the general area of E3.
Right.
The initial doors, it's not very hard to get through.
Right.
But this, at least, I don't know. I like feeling safe.
Sure. Even if it's just an illusion.
Right. Even if it's just a little bit of an illusion, but it's still better than like just masses of people with enormous bags that are being.
That's what you say now. Wait till we're waiting online for 45 minutes to switch halls.
Sure. But there is like a media entrance.
Ah, yes. But then the general public won't see my giant promotional bag, and they won't feel jealous. I'll just walk by the other line. Should I carry you in my bag, Ship?
Oh wait, is there a media entrance? I'm looking at this thing. It's so confusing.
I don't think there is. I think I looked at something before. I didn't see a media entrance.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a mess.
It's a good thing weed's legal in LA now, in Cali now. You're gonna need it, Ship. I'll just dose you when you're right when you start to get a little cranky, because we've been waiting for half an hour.
I have connections, so you just let me know what you need.
I think it's legal there.
I know it is.
Right. So it should be pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
The tricky part will be dosing Ship when he's not looking.
Right.
What else we got here? I think we're in Wombat's Overwatch Onslaught and news and stuff.
All right. Woo!
So the big announcement was the new Fallout game.
Yeah. Fallout 76, which I think is going to be a you game more than a me game.
Because it's the rumored to be an online game.
An online survival game. Like those games that you've been enjoying so much lately.
Well, the one I'm playing is single player. I think there's an online component, but it's separate. So I haven't even dove into.
Well, if it's like these other games, and that's probably what it'll be. I mean, you may never see any.
The Forest is the one I was talking about last week. I'm still playing that, by the way. It's fantastic.
Awesome. So you may like this. I am, I'm not pre-ordering this game so fast.
Well, we'll see. I guess we'll find out at Bethesda's E3 Hubbadoo.
Yep, you can let me know. You can be like, dude, you're going to hate this game so much. I'm so sorry.
I'm not invited. Cool. I'm not invited, so I'll find out at the same time as you.
Ah, there you go. So it'll be on the show floor, I'm sure.
Whatever.
Maybe. I don't know.
I what I see, I see. What I don't see, I don't see. It's all good.
Yeah. I didn't put this on the outline, but I wanted to bring this up.
Okay.
Because do you remember when you were very upset at the makers of Forza because you bought the car pass, and when the cars came out, you had to buy them again in game?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So now Far Cry 5 is doing that same thing with weapons, season pass weapons.
Okay.
So you get the weapons in the season pass, and then you go to the store to go equip them.
You have to buy
but
them.
if you want them, you still have to buy them with in-game money, and they're all really expensive.
That's dumb.
And wait, it gets even better. You can use that extra, like the microtransaction currency, to pay for these weapons you already bought. So you could buy them.
That was my follow-up.
You could literally buy them twice with real money.
Yeah, just give it to them for us for free or not.
It's not for free. I'm not saying give them to me for free.
No, I mean we paid for them with the season.
I'm saying I already paid for these weapons with actual cash.
Yeah.
Why are you making me jump through hoops to get these things that I gave you money for already?
Right. Why don't they make it for the people who didn't buy the season pass? They can spend. The real money and buy it with the tokens or whatever
I don't care.
Is.
Yeah, but I already paid for these, so give me my damn weapons. But no,
right? It's dumb too because they want to get us back playing the game. The game's been out for a while now.
That's one of the reasons why I started playing it again, was because I'm like, oh, there's new stuff. I'll download it and I'll boot the game up. I'm curious to see what these things that I paid for are. And I actually I'm at the end of that game. All 3 sections are now free of bad guys.
Oh, you may be the first one to finish, right? Ship, you didn't finish, right?
No, I haven't touched it.
I was gonna say, have you even opened it?
No. I played
a little.
Okay.
I played 4 hours or so of that game.
Yeah,
I saw what there was to see.
I was gonna, so I'm kind of upset about that, like more than a little bit. So I
add any more bliss bullets?
Yeah, no, there's no bullets. It's just kind of dumb. Like,
it doesn't make a lot of sense.
It really doesn't. I don't understand it at all. I don't understand what they were thinking. And if anyone's listening knows anyone at Ubisoft, find out why they're dumb. Can you do me that favor? Just ask them. Say, hey, Mr. Soft, why are you so dumb?
Yeah. I'm not going to do that.
Could you do that for me?
I'm going to pass on that.
Please.
Let's
you want to get that Ubisoft appointment, but as soon as I get it, I'll ask.
Thanks.
3-3. Yeah.
Should we talk about the PUBG lawsuit?
Sure.
PUBG suing Epic Games.
Now, I know Wombat's an expert in Korean copyright law.
I think it's the fact that it's a Korean. Is this gonna be in Korean courts? Is that
yes.
like a thing? Yeah.
Yes.
Then whatever. Who knows what'll happen?
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody knows the story.
I mean, I guess it's do they have whether or not they have a case or not, I guess is really the question, and it's sort of interesting. And I mean, I'm curious. Like I said, I'm curious to see where it goes.
Well, they're saying their argument doesn't sound that crazy to me. That's
what it is. It's what their argument is. That and I'm with you, but I'll let you go ahead.
I mean, the gist of it isn't that they're not saying that Epic stole Battle Royale from them, and that's not the gist of it. The gist of it is that they took specific items from the game and put it in Fortnite. And since they rely on Epic as the licensor of the Unreal Engine, they rely on Epic for support of that engine. When they try to implement new features and they want to do things with this engine, they have to at times, I guess, go to Epic and say, hey, how do we do this? Or can you help us do that? And they're saying that they're not getting the support they need, in part because now they're direct competitors with each other. Fortnite and PUBG are direct competitors. And so that's seems to be a big part of the lawsuit. And I'm sure another big part is if they don't sue, they're not protecting their copyright, I guess. Even if it's questionable about, whether stuff was stolen or not, I guess they've got the legal advice that says it's better to just sue because it shows you're trying to protect your copyright. But again, we don't know anything about Korean law or American law for that matter. So it's interesting. Keep an eye on it. Also interesting, this Atari Indiegogo thing. Have you looked at this recently, like in the last couple of hours? Because
I have not.
It's been blowing up. They announced more. Atari announced more details about their console, and including the pricing and everything. And you can go to Indiegogo right now and put the money in and back it. And just went out live today, right? I think. And it seems to have. It's almost at $2 million, and their goal was $100,000, and they're almost at $2 million raised by 7,300 backers. I didn't think anybody would be interested in that. And while 7,300 backers doesn't seem like a lot, like in the big picture wise, it seems like a lot for this.
It does seem like a lot for this. It's very
Shipwreck. Are you right? This is like surprising.
Yes, this is really expensive.
So this is it's Atari. It's 7,374 backers currently.
The cheapest console I think is $229. No, $200. But you don't get a controller.
It's $200. They're claiming that that's 33% off the $300 that they plan to sell it for.
But what do you get for $300?
It's going to have 100 Atari games on it. I don't think they've said. There's no list.
Who cares? They're Atari games.
I don't know. It seems crazy. I mean, I guess Are there 10,000 people who are just will buy any Atari console?
I don't know. For $300, it seems like a lot.
It's just a Linux box. I don't understand. Like, so obviously we've talked about the I've forgotten what the name of it, the arcade box thing. Dream Arcades.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about that in the past, but that was $100, and it presumably has more functionality than the. I mean,
it doesn't even have a paddle. It's just the joystick. Where's the tennis paddle?
Do you even get a controller with the $200 version?
No. You have to spend $300 and you get just the classic joystick. There's also
you get $230. You can get the classic joystick.
Oh, there
wireless with the console.
Yes, that's the basic.
I don't see the value here.
The controller looks like a real hand killer. I'm watching.
I think the controller's cool. I'll be honest.
It looks cool, sure.
I think the whole thing looks really cool. That's not the problem. I like the way the box looks. I just don't know what I need it for.
But people are
at that price that they've raised $1 million.
Almost 2 million.
Yeah.
In a day.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is it going to just top out at this? Or people? I mean, it just doesn't seem like there's much of a market. And now, related to this, it was just announced that Tommy Tallarico, the video game music composer.
It sounds to me like he's a CAGcast listener. Because he's doing what you said Nintendo should do about a month ago.
No. He's not, though. He's saying a lot of things. So he bought the rights to Nintendo. I mean, to Nintendo.
Wow.
Did very well.
Yeah, it's good for him.
The Video Games Live Tour has been extremely successful. He now owns Nintendo. No, I mean, I'm assuming the Nintendo Live Tour, his Video Game Live Tour has been successful and he bought the rights to Intellivision.
Video Games Live. Yes. Intellivision lives.
Yeah, he owns he bought Intellivision.
Yeah, good for him.
The brand.
Yeah.
And maybe with somebody else, I forget. But the point is, he's going to be making an Intellivision console. And here's a quote from him about it. And see if I've discovered a sort of flaw in his marketing strategy, but maybe you can find it too. He says, "I see a huge gaping hole in the market now with families in the home." Well, that's where the families are. We will be
that's
focused.
Where the families come out of.
Right. We will be focused. We will not try to compete with Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo. That'd be insane. Okay. Then he says, our target is the non-gamer, the family. We want simplicity. There is no system where young and old and non-gamers can play together in the home. People play on mobile, but it is still a very solitary experience.
I don't know about that at all, but okay.
If your target is the non-gamer, why even acquire the brand Intellivision? Do you think like that resonates a lot with the non-gamer? Isn't it the exact opposite of the people?
Yeah, like why are you going on this nostalgia thing when that's not your target demo?
I mean, if you're not a gamer, you don't know what Intellivision is, I'm pretty sure. And those games, like, those are good. Why do those appeal to the family today? Okay, what he was saying might have been true in the 80s, but today those games certainly don't hold up today. And
well, is it going to be Intellivision games, or is it just that he has the name?
Well, he says he's gonna. It sounds like he's gonna be making new software too. I don't know. It just seems.
It seems like a very much a wait and see kind of thing.
Yeah, it seems like the non-gamers.
I'm gonna wait and see.
I mean, I love Intellivision. Don't get me wrong. I think they should make speaker hats, like any normal company would do. What's Mega Man 11, and why is it on this list?
It's a game that's coming out. It's the 11th in the Mega Man series.
Interesting.
He's a Mega Man. Usually dresses in blue, sometimes green or red.
Is this big news? Are people excited about this Mega Man?
Shoots bullets.
There's an amiibo.
That's very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
He has a dog.
We'll see how Mega Man 11.
Isn't his dog named after your son?
After my son?
Yeah, isn't his dog's name Dash?
Isn't it Roll?
Oh, it's Roll. Who has a dog named Dash?
Stop, drop, and roll.
Oh, doesn't matter.
All right.
I need to get off this Atari page before I pre-order one of these things.
No, you're not gonna get that, right?
I've been scrolling down like the entire time since we've been talking about it. There's so much. There's so like this page is so long.
Yep.
And it doesn't say anything for the most part.
Like it's a box, and here's a joystick, and it looks really nice, and it's gonna play Atari games. Give me $300.
Where is this going to be in 30 days? This Atari campaign, 2.2 million or 10 million? That's the question. Nobody knows. Nintendo. Do we want to talk about the Team Sonic Racing leak?
It's not a leak. Well, I mean,
it's
they leaked it
confirmed now.
It's confirmed now. Sega's said stuff about it.
Right, because of Walmart.
We have an appointment for it at E3. I'm excited to play that game.
Fantastic.
Aren't you? You like Sonic Racing?
Sure. But how excited am I supposed to be about a kart racing game?
Very.
Okay. Well, remind me right before we go in.
Okay.
It's like, psst.
It looks like it has Shadow the Hedgehog.
Psst, get excited.
All right. I set up this appointment just for you.
Just for me. Great. Do that.
Does it have a typing of the dead car? Because I'll drive that one.
It's got all your favorite Sega things.
Golden Axe-mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I bet that game will be good.
I bet I would be if it was Team Sonic Genesis Racing, I would probably buy that much faster than just Sonic Friends.
Well, I mean, the last one was Sonic All-Stars, right? Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. So I'm sure you will have the opportunity to buy additional characters.
Yeah, it's okay.
Close one.
Space Harrier Guy DLC.
I'm sure I will be in there.
What about was it Opa Opa?
Has Opa Opa been in one of these games?
I don't know. Has Opa? I mean, it is a spaceship.
Yeah, I think so, right?
I don't know. It makes sense.
Right. I'm sure Ooh La La will make an appearance.
Ooh.
Is it? I thought it was Ooh La La.
Echo the Dolphin.
What is Echo the Dolphin drive? Just a water tank with wheels on it?
You're pretty good.
I mean, I'm in. I'm totally feet first on this.
The outrun car driving another car.
Now that would be awesome.
See, the game makes itself.
That's innovation right there.
That is innovation right there. You got the Bonanza Brothers driving a piece of crap because that game is a piece of crap. You have like all 100 gain ground characters in one like clown car, I guess.
See, you're fired up.
Mm-hmm.
Possibilities are endless.
Yep.
Yes. All right. What else we got here? Microsoft fired their Twitter support staff and instead are using their unpaid Xbox ambassadors
as volunteers. That is some shady business.
Well, I guess these guys were part of another company. Microsoft had to outsource this.
Yeah, I guess they outsourced it to a local. I mean, it was a local company. But yeah, and those people were training the ambassadors to take their jobs, which is also got to suck.
It's just like when you go to McDonald's or the supermarket and the employees are showing you how to order from the screen or how to check out from the automatic checkout. And
but this is customer service. So,
I've done similar things to that before. So,
what fired people?
No, trained other people to do
what you do.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah,
I'm also an Xbox ambassador.
Are you really?
I really am.
What does that mean?
It means that I signed up to do it because I thought it was like Xbox rewards like a long time ago.
Sure. Okay.
And so
you sign up for anything anyway. So
it was like, well, do these challenges and get prizes, and I'm like, all right, I like playing Xbox games and getting prizes.
Yeah, I like prizes.
So yeah, so I signed up, and I don't have time to do all that. Like as far as like answering forum questions and all that, but
have you been shirking your duties as an Xbox ambassador? Is that what you're saying?
Don't you know that you're a paid volunteer? Oh, wait, no, you're not paid. Sorry.
I got a sticker this year.
A sticker, yeah. If you'd done more, you would have gotten a medal.
Oh, you definitely do. There's tiers.
Oh shit! There's levels to this shit.
Yeah.
Again, this is it's interesting. So I saw someone post about this. I don't remember who, but it's there's weird legalities around turning a paid position into a volunteer position. So, I mean, but like you said, since they weren't actually Microsoft employees, it's harder to sue in that situation. But it's sort of, like I said, it's a very strange position.
Damn. So what you're saying, Wombat, is that there are some guys in Seattle right now that basically think that Shipwreck took their jobs.
Basically. Yeah.
They took our jobs.
And it was funny because it was like this.
I have to respond to this person that's having problems with their Connect.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. It's like the same day that Microsoft announced that it was like the third largest brand in the world or something ridiculous like that. And other than that, they overtook Google as far as.
That's why. How do you think you get to be the third largest? You get rid of the fat.
Yeah, you got to trim the fat on those. Customer service representatives that probably make less that probably takes about a half hour to earn their salaries.
Shipwreck, can you wear your ambassador sticker during E3?
I guess I could. If I could.
People need to know.
Yeah. Oh, you're having a problem with your Xbox? Here, I can help you. I am customer support.
Every booth I go to, if they're having an issue with their Xbox.
I am customer support for Xbox. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Because you can say that now. You can put that on your resume.
Unplug that and plug that back in.
You can put that on your resume. Customer support. Microsoft.
Who says it's not on my resume?
That's true.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
It's crazy.
We're all learning a lot.
I'm pretty sure I could find that sticker.
It's really bad.
I definitely stuck it in a first-party Microsoft Xbox One game.
It'll be interesting to see how long this experiment lasts.
What experiment? Oh, this
yeah.
thing. Okay. Well, I think we should wrap this. Can we wrap the show up so we can do our solo?
Go for it.
Because it's hot in here.
All right. So take off all your clothes.
Let's thank everybody for listening and remind them to follow us on Twitter at GBD, at New Wombat, at Shipwreck, at Video Game Deals, and anything else? Oh, our Discord, discord.gg/CAG. And I think that's it. Coming up next, we will have the solo spoiler talk.
Excellent.
Bye.
Bread's done.